This game sucks.
He's gonna take you back to the past to play the shitty games that suck ass. He'd rather have a buffalo take a diarrhea dump in his ear. He'd rather eat the rotten asshole of a roadkill skunk and down it with beer. He's the angriest gamer you've ever heard. He's the angry Nintendo nerd. He's the angry Atari Sega nerd. He's the angry video game nerd.
There is a game that is said to be even worse than Big Rigs. It is also a driving game, and it's called Desert Bus. It was so unspeakably dreadful that it was canceled before it was ever released. It was one of 6 games included in Penn & Teller's Smoke and Mirrors for the Sega CD. That's right, Penn & Teller were behind this. And if you haven't heard of them, well, how do I sum it up? Basically, they're 2 of the greatest entertainers of our time. They mix magic and comedy, they perform it live, they defy physics, they're funny as hell, they attack bullshit, and they've been doing it for nearly 40 years. So their first attempt at a video game in 1995 was a very interesting one and something that only they could have made.
See? You gotta be careful, those thermographics.
Smoke and Mirrors is like the anti-video game. It's made up of 6 mini-games that exist for no other reason than to play jokes on your friends. Explaining them all in detail would be a disservice for anyone wanting to try them out for themselves. Of course, the game was never released, but prior to its cancellation, it appeared in Sega Visions magazine and even made the front cover. The true reason it was cancelled was because the company, Absolute, went out of business. But like anything, the game found its way onto the internet and has been circulated, people have played it, and it's become sort of a cult hit. It's one of the strangest collections of games you might ever play. There's a traditional side-scroller where you actually play as Penn & Teller themselves. It's insanely frustrating to figure out what you're supposed to do, but it's hilarious just for the idea that they made their in-game characters so useless. There's a part where an enemy magician is throwing straitjackets at you, and you have to bounce them back using an umbrella. Trying to hit this guy is just as much of a trick as anything Penn & Teller have pulled off themselves. The straitjackets always bounce in the wrong direction. Oh, come on, that didn't count. Overall, the whole game is worth it just for the abundance of Penn & Teller clips. Watching these guys, you can't go wrong.
Death, move, death, move, death, move, death, move, death, move, death, move. Kill him! Kill him! Kill him!
But then there's Desert Bus. How bad could it be? Let's find out. From Tucson, Arizona to Las Vegas, Nevada. Are we going to Las Vegas to see a Penn & Teller show? I hope. Okay, I'm driving the bus. Come on, bus. Come on, bus. Come on. Okay, slowly but surely. Here we go. This is the game. You drive, drive, and drive. There is nothing out there except road and sand. Occasionally there's a rock or a sign, but that's it. There's no passengers to interact with, no music on the radio, nothing to keep you occupied. The road never turns, there's no other vehicles, there is absolutely nothing. You can open the door with the B button. Basically, it makes a sound effect. That's a little something you can do to entertain yourself. The bus can't go any faster than 45 miles per hour. I don't know why. Maybe Dennis Hopper has a bomb on it or something. So there's no hope of speeding up this test of human attention span. So how long is this trip? It's 360 miles to Las Vegas. At 45 miles per hour, that would mean 8 hours. This is a fucking 8-hour game! Whoever needs to take a road trip when you can simulate the whole experience in real time on your Sega CD? What were they thinking? Well, this time we have an answer. Penn and Teller make it clear right before the game starts that the whole joke was to make a game that's just like real life.
Vera simulators. Games stupefyingly like reality.
I've read in various interviews with Penn that this was in response to all the controversies at the time about all the hyper-violent video games. So, instead of something imaginary and fun, here's the real-life, mundane task of driving a fucking bus for 8 hours! Well, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna need several bathroom breaks. Let's pause it. What? The start button blows the horn. There's no pause. You just have to keep driving. I wonder how many people have pissed their pants while playing this. You can't even stop to get something to eat. The manual, and yes, there is a manual, says no, it's not an oversight. Does your life have a pause control? Oh. I'm driving. What happens at the end when you get to Las Vegas? Imagine if after the 8 hours you get to play casino games and have fun, and all of a sudden the game becomes awesome. Well, I looked into it. You want to know what happens? You get a point. A point. 1 fucking point! And then you gotta drive all the way back! Every 8 hours a point! Those are the slowest points in video game history! Did Penn and Teller really make this game, or did Andy Warhol rise from the dead? Yeah, you know the Andy Warhol film Empire? It's an 8-hour movie that's nothing but a shot of the Empire State Building. Yeah. Who could ever sit through this? Well, there was going to be prizes. Penn and Teller were actually planning to have a desert